Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash, the channel where we cut through the glossy brochures, the polished dealership rehearsals, and the sugar-coated marketing lines to give you the raw, unfiltered truth about how cars actually look, feel, and perform when you get behind the wheel or see them out in the real world. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the community, because here, it's not about hype, it's about the reality of the cars you might be considering. Exterior. Today, we're diving into the 2026 Honda Jazz, a car that has always been known for being practical, reliable, and surprisingly versatile for its size. Over the years, the Jazz has gained a loyal fan base because of its smart packaging, roomy cabin, and Honda's knack for creating cars that just make sense for everyday driving. But the 2026 version takes things a little further, refining the design, upgrading the tech, and giving us a small car that wants to feel more modern and stylish without losing its identity as a dependable urban companion. At first glance, the front of the new Honda Jazz has changed noticeably compared to the older models. It's sharper, more confident, and less cute than it used to be. The headlights are slimmer, stretched out toward the fenders, and feature Honda's new signature LED daytime running lights that give it a more upscale look. The grille is relatively compact, not oversized like some rivals, but it carries a glossy black finish with a thin chrome bar that flows seamlessly into the headlight design. Down below, you get a sportier bumper with neatly sculpted air intakes that give the Jazz a sense of attitude without being over the top. For a car that's all about practicality, the front end now feels modern and assertive, something that will definitely appeal to younger buyers who don't want their small hatchback to look too basic. Moving to the side, this is where the Jazz really starts to show its character. It's a compact hatchback, but the proportions are incredibly well balanced. The roofline is slightly more sloped than before, giving it a touch of sportiness, yet Honda has been smart enough to keep the overall silhouette upright enough to maximize interior space. The side profile is clean, with just one strong shoulder line that runs from the front lights to the rear, adding definition without making it too busy. Depending on the trim, you can get 15 or 16-inch alloy wheels with fresh designs, and they fill the arches nicely without making the ride too stiff. Blacked out side mirrors, flush door handles, and a slight chrome accent along the windows give it just the right amount of flair. What I like most here is that Honda didn't try too hard. They know the Jazz isn't supposed to be a wannabe sports car. It's a small hatch, and the design stays true to that, while still looking fresh and relevant in 2026. Around the back, things get even more interesting. The rear lights are slimmer and now extend into the tailgate with the modern LED signature that makes the car instantly recognizable at night. The bumper has been redesigned with a more angular look, giving the Jazz a planted stance despite its size. There's a subtle roof spoiler at the top, which adds just enough sportiness without being flashy. The rear window is quite large, which means visibility is excellent when you're reversing or navigating tight city streets. And once again, Honda plays it smart by keeping the back simple but classy. No fake exhaust trims, no exaggerated plastic cladding, just a clean, functional, and neat design that works really well. Interior. Stepping inside the 2026 Jazz, the story gets even better. Honda has always been known for making practical cabins, but this one feels like it's been designed with a lot of thought put into comfort and usability. First off, the dashboard is clean and minimalistic, with a horizontal layout that makes the cabin feel wider than it actually is. The central touchscreen is now a 9-inch unit, running Honda's latest infotainment system, which finally feels smooth, responsive, and intuitive. Thankfully, Honda kept physical buttons and dials for the climate control, something many brands are ditching but that drivers still appreciate. The steering wheel is compact, leather-wrapped in higher trims, and it houses neatly laid out controls that don't feel overwhelming. The materials are much better than before. You get soft-touch plastics on the upper dash, fabric or leatherette upholstery depending on the trim, and a tasteful use of contrast stitching to make it feel less utilitarian. But the real magic of the Jazz interior is space. Despite being a small hatchback, The rear seats offer legroom and headroom that rivals some compact SUVs. Hyundai's famous magic seats are still here, which means you can fold the rear bench flat for a massive load area, or flip up the seat bases to carry all items like plants or even a bike if you want to. It's one of those clever packaging tricks that sets the Jazz apart from rivals and makes it way more versatile than you'd expect. In terms of tech, you get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a digital driver's display, USB-C charging ports, and a good sound system. Safety has also been stepped up, with Honda Sensing now standard across the lineup, meaning adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, and blind spot monitoring are included even on the base trim. For a car in this segment, that's impressive. Now let's talk performance. Under the hood, the 2026 Honda Jazz comes primarily with a hybrid setup, pairing a 1.5-liter petrol engine with electric motors for a combined output of around 120 horsepower. It's not a performance machine by any means, but that's not the point of the Jazz. What it gives you instead is smooth acceleration, instant torque from the electric motors at low speeds, and outstanding fuel efficiency. Honda claims figures around 55 to 60 miles per gallon, which is excellent for city driving and makes it one of the most economical cars in its class. The CVT transmission has also been refined, so it feels less drony and more natural than older Honda setups. On the road, the Jazz feels light and nimble. The steering is precise, the suspension is tuned for comfort, and the ride quality is surprisingly refined for a small hatchback. It absorbs bumps well and remains stable on the highway, making it a car that feels just as comfortable doing short city trips as it does handling a longer commute. Don't expect hot hatch dynamics, but do expect a car that feels easy, predictable, and stress-free to drive. Exactly what you want in this category. As for pricing, Honda has kept the Jazz within reach of its target audience. Depending on the market, the 2026 Jazz starts at around $22,000 for the base model and can go up to $27,000 for the fully loaded trims. That places it competitively against rivals like the Toyota Yaris, Hyundai i20, and VW Polo, but the Jazz's hybrid efficiency and interior flexibility give it real edge. It's a car that doesn't just compete on price, it competes on cleverness and everyday usability. So, after spending time with the 2026 Honda Jazz, what's the verdict? This car isn't trying to be flashy, it isn't pretending to be sporty, and it's not chasing luxury. Instead, it's delivering what buyers in this segment actually need: practicality, efficiency, and reliability, all wrapped in a design that finally feels modern and attractive. It's the kind of car that might not make your heart race, but it will make your life easier, and that's exactly why the Jazz has such a strong following. If you're someone who values space, low running costs, and hassle-free driving in a car that looks and feels fresh, the 2026 Honda Jazz deserves a serious spot on your short list. And that wraps up today's review here on Car Flash. Let me know in the comments, would you pick the Honda Jazz over its rivals, or do you think another small hatchback offers more value in 2026? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our deep dive reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.